And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're almost at 300 thanks to you. So hit subscribe, watch, comment. Keep those comments coming. I'm loving them. And share with friends. Let's keep building this community. Because this morning, just a few hours ago, Trump had a bit of a, just call it a temper tantrum on Truth Social. At 8 a.m. this morning, he posted that he was threatening a 200% tariff on the EU, specifically on their wines and spirits. Now, Trump, for whatever the reason, thinks that this is like a Texas Hold'em poker game. You know, it's like, oh, I raise you. Oh, well, we're going to impose a 25% on you. Yeah, you're going to do that? We're going to raise the 25% on you. Yeah? Well, now, fuck you, 200%. What do you think of that? I'm all in. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I mean, look, let me go on and show you what exactly what he wrote on this post. The European Union, one of the most hostile and abusive taxing and tariffing authorities in the world, which was formed for the sole purpose of taking advantage of the United States. It's hard to actually read this without laughing, has just put a nasty 50% tariff on whiskey. If this tariff is not removed immediately, the United States will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU-represented countries. Goes on to finish it. This will be great for the wine and champagne business in the United States. Now, let me be very clear. I mean, this is going to piss off a lot of people. Let's not forget French wine. Let's not talk about Ireland and scotches and so on. This is really going to piss off a lot of people. But it didn't stop there, my friends. No. At 9 a.m., he posted this about the Wall Street Journal. In it, he turns around and he says, the globalist Wall Street Journal has no idea what they are doing or saying. They are owned by the polluted thinking of the European Union, which was formed for the primary purpose of screwing the United States of America. Boy, we get screwed a lot, don't we? Right? There, meaning Wall Street Journal, ! Thinking is antiquated and weak and very bad for the USA. But have no fear, we will win on everything. Egg prices are down. No. Oil is down. No. Interest rates are down. No. And tariff-related money is pouring into the United States. No. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. I mean, honestly, you can't make this stuff up. I want to now show you, right? He followed this with another angry post. And in it, he turns around and he writes, the U.S. doesn't have free trade. We have stupid trade. The entire world is ripping us off. No. Okay. If you ask me, knowing Trump as well as I do, I think that his rage right now, these rage-filled posts, are the direct result. They are inspired by Maria Bartiromo's interview of Wall Street Journal editor-in-chief Emma Tucker, criticizing Trump's economic policies. I want to show you part of that interview where Tucker turns around and says that CEOs are floundering. Play the clip.
And we saw each other at the World Economic Forum in January.
Yes, in Davos, right.
In Davos back then. And do you remember the mood then was so upbeat? And the American chief execs that were there were all so excited. The talk was all of deregulation, growth, no tax rises, boom, boom, America. And Europe was absolutely stuck in the doldrums, very unhappy. But it's very interesting how that mood has shifted pretty much since all the tariffs started coming in. I think businesses realizes now Trump is serious about this. But the problem they've got is that they're being imposed in a very haphazard way, and that's creating so much instability. Then along comes your interview, and Trump refuses to rule out a recession. He's talking in a kind of no pain, no gain kind of way. And I think, chief execs, businesses, they're slightly floundering because they don't know where to look now.
Yeah, and one of the main stories in the Journal today, CEO frustrations with Trump over trade mount in private. So the president has been speaking to lots of CEOs this week. He was at the Business Roundtable. And of course, lots of CEOs told me at the Business Council, they're not sure where things are going.
Yeah. How could you be sure? Every day it's something new. Now, Maria goes on and asks her, what the hell is going inside these boardrooms? Play the clip.
What do you think the conversation is in boardrooms today in terms of how these companies are going to adjust to this new policy of tariffs?
Well, I think one thing's very clear from our reporting is they're reluctant to say anything publicly. I think that story that is about this roundtable of business people. There were some sort of informal polls where the chief execs that were there said the stock market would have to drop by 20% for them to talk out. So I think they've accepted that the tariffs are here, and what they want to know now is which ones are staying, which ones are going to be dialed back. Is there going to be further retaliation? And I mean, just before I came on, there was news that Trump is now talking about further retaliation against the EU. The EU retaliated yesterday against the aluminium and steel tariffs. Trump's now talking about putting 200% tariffs on champagne, alcohol, core European products.
So do you expect that those prices will go higher? I mean, when a company has to pay more for its input, will they typically pass it on to the consumer, do you think?
I think eventually they're going to have to.
Yeah.
They may not immediately. There may be some buffer there that they can absorb these prices. But over time, inevitably, I think we will see prices for certain goods go up.
Emma,
For all goods that have tariffs go up. And why can't we just call it for what it is? Each and every one of you know exactly what I'm saying. They're not going to absorb the tariff cost themselves. Fuck it. You put it onto the backs of the consumers. Why? Because there's more consumers than just the one individual company. So it's easy. You spread the pain across a larger group of individuals. It's a stupid question, and I hate to say it, it was a ridiculous answer. Nobody is waiting. In fact, let me go one step further here. If you go to the stores, to the liquor store right now, as a direct result of the tariffs that are being claimed to be coming forth, what ends up happening, they've already raised the prices on French champagne, on wines and liquors. I mean, it's already started, even though that the tariffs haven't even come into full effect yet. Meanwhile, of course, Trump's sycophants, his enablers, what do? They just come to his rescue. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he went on NBC to talk about these claims. And this is what he had to say about the CEOs. Play the clip.
You mentioned the Business Roundtable that you attended yesterday. What did you hear from CEOs on this issue? How much frustration or nervousness is there?
Look, I think that we were always going to have a transition from this incredible, unsustainable level of government spending that we had. I think last week I called it a detox. And generally, they're very supportive of that. And we're going to have a transition. We are going to de-lever the government and re-lever the private sector, both through the regulated banking system and through industrial deregulation. They were very excited about that. And the one thing in terms of certainty that everyone was the main topic is the tax bill. And we're working on that every day. I had a meeting with the Senate House leadership and the Kevin Hassett from the White House yesterday. So that's moving forward nicely.
No, it's not moving forward nicely. It's a lie. It's a lie. We get it. You have to say it. Otherwise, you're going to get shit canned. We all get it. But at whose expense? At whose detriment? To ours, the American people. And I want to show you his response to the 200% EU threat, the 200% EU tariff threat that Trump is yelling about. Play the clip.
Look, the market's been really focused on tariffs, Mr. Secretary, and it's been another sort of up and down ride this week. A lot of uncertainty among business leaders. This morning, President Trump threatened a 200% tariff on Europe on wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU countries. And I do wonder how that comes to be. Was this premeditated? Did you know about this? This is in retaliation to what Europe did, in retaliation to the steel and aluminum tariffs, but 200%?
Look, I was with the Business Roundtable yesterday. I think it was 135 CEOs, and I talked to them about our plan, which includes tariffs, deregulation, and what I call reprivatizing the government, and bringing down this incredible level of government spending. And one or two items with one trading block, I'm not sure why that's a big deal for the markets.
I think that the big deal for the market is just the not knowing what's next and what the target is necessarily going to be, and also not knowing where this stops.
It's a great attempt at an answer by Bessent, even though he has no idea what he's talking about. First of all, it's not one or two items. Walk into any liquor store and see how many of our liquors come from the EU. All right, it's not one or two items, and it is an enormous amount of money. Not to mention, what about the distributors here in the United States and the hundreds of people that are working for their company? You know, I just want to go back for one quick second about the angry Trump post, the one on whiskey. Put it up for a second, because I want to show you how you know that Donald is so angry. All right, he's angry because you turn around and you see here where it says, has just put a nasty 50% tariff on whiskey. You do know that whiskey is spelled with an E, right? W-H-I-S-K-E-Y. Yeah. This is what happens when you're so angry that you can't even think straight. Take that down. Let me say this to you, my friends. All right. Wine, liquor, whatever, aluminum, steel, oil, gas, electricity, whatever it's going to be. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop with just these specific items. He is going to go on and on and on. And yeah, there will be some reprieves given to certain countries with certain products because, I don't know, he just feels that way. And that's the whole point. None of us have a clue, including the folks that are his enablers, his sycophants, his counsel. They have no idea what he's doing next because he doesn't tell them. It becomes a whim, and we all have to suffer. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.